We're live. feeling quite energy reduced this week, so we're live.
Hi!
Ta-da!
Hello. Okay, and welcome to week 41, a week in which the people, producers, and other people associated with Assassin's Creed should keep their mouths shut because they don't want to cause debate. A week with Lindsay Lohan just being genuinely stupid. Microsoft defends its parity clause. Xbox One beats the PlayStation 4 for sales in the UK and sells well in China. Plus, we've got the 20th anniversary of PlayStation coming up, PS Plus Drive Club delayed, and PS4 heading to China. So that's our week 41. Guys, say hello.
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 Hello. How are we all doing?
I'm okay. Nige, how was your week elf course in Finland?
Yes, well, I did learn from the best, i.e. you, being Mr. Christmas.
Ho ho ho. Shh.
Let's not let the kids know.
Yes, then I'll be inundated with letters.
You
Anyway.
just need to dye that bad boy.
Yes, but at Christmas it grows white. Haven't you seen Santa Claus?
Who has?
Yeah, who has?
I have.
That's one out of three.
My
That was
theory is there are
that was
many.
an accident.
Right. Anyway.
Right. Okay, so shall we get on with our first story?
Yes, boss.
Oh, this is fantastic. This is fabulous thing from the guys who brought you Assassin's Creed. Bring you complete balls up. They released a statement.
Yes.
I think it was just maybe just over a week ago, where they're talking about how Assassin's Creed Unity, the next gen Assassin's Creed game, is only going to be 900p on both consoles, and they said that they weren't pushing to get any more out of either one console, which to me seems like it's, how can I put it? It's holding back one console to help another, and it kind of is a bit fishy, in my opinion. What your opinions are on this, guys?
Are you by any chance insinuating that you would be for trying to help out the Xbox One?
I'm not saying that Microsoft reached into their pockets and just turned around and said, look, just don't make the effort. we haven't got the power to make it get there, so just don't make the effort. Because I know for a fact that the last Assassin's Creed game released, which I have, the Black Flag, was released on the PS4. It came out 900p, and then a couple of days later they put a patch on it. It became 1080p. I imagine they'll wind up doing exactly the same at the moment. But this Plank, I can't remember his name now. I made a note too. This Plank said that. Hang on, so it was past the note.
Vincent Pontbriand.
Vincent Pontbriand.
Yeah.
Sounds very French Canadian.
Sounds French.
Yeah, he said at no point did we decide to reduce the ambition of any of our SKUs. All benefit from full dedication of all our available optimized resources to help them reach the level of quality we have today. The core level today with the core Assassin's Creed Unity experience, he said. And
Okay.
then he put, to avoid all the debates and stuff.
So basically,
I'm not. This is like one of those conversations where you have with someone where they go, "I'm not racist, but," and then you go, "Oh, fuck, I know what's coming next."
now you're going to say something racist.
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, you're just about to say something racist. So, what was that all about?
Well, clearly, what he's saying is we're going to start off, and our level for everything is going to be 900p. And so when we know we can hit 900p with the Xbox One, and therefore we know we can do it with the PS4. So his statement is not incorrect. They set out to hit the level, and they've hit that level. It's just not as high as possibly they could have gone. So they've set the bar high-ish, but not high enough. So of course they're going to hit the level.
It gets to me because that's not a standard display
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's either 720p or 1080. 900. I've never heard of 900p before, like anywhere.
I hadn't until the Xbox One came out.
Yeah, same here.
Sorry.
Xbox One bring you 900p all the way. It's really bizarre. There was a statement that a guy from Ubisoft made. I'm not sure if it's the same guy or something else. I couldn't find any decent quotes or articles on it, but apparently he said that stuff at 60 frames per second looks a bit weird. So, like, and he cited The Hobbit that was done at 42 or 48 frames a second, and I kind of get in with The Hobbit, but The Hobbit's not a game.
The Hobbit was a bit weird when I saw it at 42, because I went to see it at 42 frames per second, and it's very, very strange. The only way I could describe it is everything seems to be moving very quickly, but the audio sounds fine, and yet it still seems to be in sync with audio. It's kind of like a paradox going on, that you can't trust what your eyes are seeing. But after about 15 minutes, you get quite used to it, and then you think it's amazing. But it takes a while to get used to. So 30 frames a second isn't a problem. It's just the 900p I just do not get.
For me, it's the more it looks like it's holding back the PS4. Yeah,
I would say so.
That's the bit, because they've done it with the other one, Black Flag. So
can you actually see the difference? Can the human eye see the difference between 900 and 1080?
You can, but most of it's in the aliasing on shadows.
Okay.
That's how pedantic I am. I will look at the aliasing on the shadows to see if you can see it or not, because it is very, very difficult to see at 900p. It's just the fact that it's not set at a standard resolution. It's not meeting the benchmarks that people are expecting it to meet. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, for a brand new game, you'd expect it to be hitting higher, because as the console stays out longer, you expect people to be able to unlock more of the power with their programming.
Yeah,
that's what I would expect. So I'd expect things to go up and up.
But you have to remember also that some of the learning was lost, because they did the last lot of Ubisoft games were both last and current generation consoles. So, but then again, this is Assassin's Creed. They pour millions into this thing. You'd expect it to be as high as they could get it, and that's the kind of bit that bothers me. That I reckon that even if they could try, they could probably even get 1080p on the bloody Xbox One if they got Microsoft's programming ninjas.
But they're saying that it's in that article they did say that it's down to the AI partly that has an effect on the graphics because of the amount of characters you have in those cities when you're walking around.
I'll be honest with you. That AI, you're going to see it. It's going to be thick as shit. You're going to trust me. You're going to see it. It's going to be as thick as shit. There's no way that's that. The guys who did Killzone Shadow 4 turned around and said in the single player, they could only have what was it? They could only get 8 properly independent acting enemies, and they had to do something so they could have a few more on there. But it's more programming tweaks. This is new stuff. They haven't learned how to optimize it and use the right language in order to behave the right way. But when you're looking at a city, yeah, and you're going to get the dumb fuck walking into the wall, and you're going to get the people who run in front of you, just like you do with every Assassin's Creed game. And I played 1, 2, 3, Revelations, Brotherhood. I've got Black Flag, which I've got to get round to playing. So I've played all but one.
Do you like them?
Assassin's Creed game. I stopped playing because I got burnt out on them because I played 3 in a row.
I think the story to them is good, and I love the sort of immersive cities that you walk through. But I always found the gameplay was a bit linear. That you couldn't. Here's your. I don't know if I'm expecting too much, but I always felt that here's your target. You have to go this way to kill him. You can't go that way to kill him. You have to go this way, and the game won't let you adapt that. Certainly with the first one. I played Assassin's Creed 3 and found it very similar. Assassin's Creed 3 is the one that's in America, isn't it? America. Yeah. I played that one. I found that a bit linear as well. I don't know if it's just me, but I never got on with.
Natively, the game's not linear because it's a big open world, so you can do what you want. I think you're probably complaining about the mission constraints inside it. Yeah. As in, there's only one way to do the mission.
Yeah.
But story-wise, they've got a bloody good way of working around that because you're replaying the memory of someone, so you've only really got one way of doing it. Hopefully, maybe Unity will give you a better way of doing it. Brotherhood, I think Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which was like the third game technically, but not the third game that came out, was probably the best one because you got guys, and you could just go kill him like that, and they just pop out of like a hay barrel, kill the guy, pull him in, and you just be standing on a rooftop feeling like a total badass. But
There
yeah,
are
there's
elements
kind
to
of
it.
like that. Yeah.
There are elements to it that I love. I mean, the only thing I'd say is that I think I've had this conversation with you before. I compare it to Far Cry 3, where Far Cry 3, even in the story, you can still go a number of ways to attack the mission. I think you're right. It's the mission constraints that I don't like. But there are elements that, I mean, I still think the story is awesome. I love the look of the games. The games are amazing to look at. It's just I get a bit bored of them very quickly.
Yeah, they do kind of burn out on you. Anyway, to match on with this, to just go on with this thing here is just that a couple of days later, the story was kind of refuted. They went, no. Let's be clear, because Ubisoft does not constrain its games because they didn't want anyone to get fucked off. And I think this is a sign that it'll come out at 900p. And then the PlayStation will get its bump up, and maybe even the Xbox will get a bump up later. It's just because at the moment they don't quite understand it, and I know that PlayStation is capable of many more operations a second than most things. It's like the operations per clock cycle is quicker, but the Xbox clock cycle is quicker, so it's a faster clock cycle for that. But you know, it's one of these things that it kind of sucks. I hope to God it's just them just trying to save themselves some trouble with.
They've been a bit cautious, touchy-feely before they go full whack. I mean, you can't really blame them. It's still quite a relatively new platform, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's with familiar architecture. The whole point of Mr. Cerny going around going, so developers, what do you want? We want this. Oh, brilliant. Okay, fair enough. We'll give this to you. It kind of feels a little wasted. And I know he apparently got a lot of shit from developers, especially in Japan, when he was doing this. Anyway, shall we move on to our next story?
Lindsay Lohan.
It's short. How can I put? I was going to say something really rude then.
Her lawyers are watching.
Her lawyers are watching. They always watch us. They always do. For everything.
I know, just in case one of us happens to be, blonde and looks about 70 or 80 years old.
Yeah. So,
oh my
God, that is the.
If there was ever anything that says "Don't do drugs, children," that's it. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
That is terrible. I almost made the joke that she looked like your mum, but your mum looks far better than that.
Whose mum are you referring to here?
Yours, Keith.
Be careful about the mama jokes.
I like your mum too, so just
easy.
But one, she looks fucking terrible, but she apparently filed a 16-page.
67
page. Sorry, 67 page. It was on page 16.
Up from the original 45.
You've got the original 45.
She originally filed a 45-page thing about, how GTA was nasty to her, and now she's this week upped it to 67 pages, probably because she's not doing so well in the play in London. Therefore, I think she might need a little bit of cash, so I think she's pouring a little bit of extra cement into this court case.
Well, she needs to get some sort of salary from somewhere, doesn't she? She doesn't seem to be. She probably can't do the work.
Hang on, guys. I've just realised why she's in this country. She's signing on, isn't she?
Oh.
She'll get. This is what happens. Foreigners come to this country, like Lindsay. Yeah, like Lindsay, where they're oppressed in their own country because they've got movie deals and record deals, and they can't quite work out. So they come into this country, they get council help. Council just gives them a job out of nowhere. It's terrible.
Nice. Spot the UKIP voter.
Oh, let's not go political again.
Oh, Nigel Farage, you're my friend.
Oh, Nigel Farage. If you ever listen, for those in the US listening to us, Nigel Farage leads a band of shall we say,
Nut cases. Nutters.
I'll be honest with you. They've replaced.
They are fucking
Hang on a
bonkers.
second.
One of them.
Hold on a second. They replaced BMP in Nick Griffin's, which I'm grateful for. And if it was a trade, I'd still keep the bloody trade because those fuckers are nasty.
But
these
one of
fuckers
them
are crazy.
One of them said, directly quoted a Yes Prime Minister line, and actually said, "Those people from Bongo Land."
Oh no! Yes, no, dude.
That was actually a line in Yes Prime Minister.
Was
I
it?
remember it. Well, yeah, because the Prime Minister went down Bongo Land, and then Humphrey goes, "Excuse me, Minister, did you just say Bongo Land?"
Yeah. Wait, this was a Lindsay Lohan story. Now we've turned it to a UKIP story. I've got news for you.
Yeah. So Lindsay, do we think it's actually her likeness?
I could have to check the council estates around her to see if she's around here.
No, I don't think it's her likeness at all. I've seen that picture now, and it doesn't look like her at all.
The image that you sent earlier.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah, Carl, show us what you showed us earlier.
Yeah, okay.
This is just, I know this is one of her complaints was the picture. The other one was the character that was on the side mission.
Well, the side mission character
Here
is...
you go. Can you see this?
Yeah, hang on, so let me just lock the screen. Yeah, we can see this. This is who's this? This is Kate Upton.
It's actually Kate Upton. Here's Kate Upton.
Gorgeous. That's who Kate Upton is. Gorgeous.
The cartoon. And there's the picture from the front of the GTA. Now, I don't know about you, but Lindsay looks nothing like that person there in the slightest, but Kate Upton do. Now, if it was Kate Upton filing a lawsuit, I would understand. But this person here looks more like this guy.
Trevor, you mean?
Trevor, is that his name?
The psychopath who doesn't wash or clean and sleeps in his own piss. Hang on, fuck? She's right! She's
pretty much.
So we found out the reason why she's suing. It's not about the woman in the red bikini, it's about this guy Trevor.
Who also deals in crystal meth and drugs and violence stuff, so yeah, maybe
I think she has a case.
If that's the case, then yeah, maybe she might win.
Sorry.
So okay, yeah. Good luck, Lindsay.
Right.
Yeah, good luck, Lindsay.
Anyway, before we get a lawsuit of our own, I honestly think we should possibly move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
I think we should, and I've divided this section out because I've just got to the point that we either talk about Xbox or PlayStation a lot. So because we stopped talking about Destiny, now we just have a whole disappointing. It's
disappointed. Disappointed.
All right. Calm down.
Nigel, make sure he doesn't get any donuts. If you can quote me that film, you're a big film nerd. Okay, so we've just got a whole section just for Xbox news on its own because I believe it's worthy of its own kind of news section. So I'm going to start off with the first stories, and it's Phil Spencer, who is, how can I put it, a bit more sensible than most people in the gaming area, and he had an interview on the Inner Circle podcast where he was talking to the guys there, and he defended the parity clause, which states that if you're doing an indie game, you have to release it on both Xbox and PlayStation at the same time. And he said that it was so that the Xbox group felt that they were being, how can I put it, not being treated as being treated as second-class citizens, and they were getting like a first-class thing. I understand that because you're looking after your user base there. He says he doesn't want the games for the Xbox One to be developed as an afterthought, which I get. And he also said that they're a bit more flexible than they're making out to be at the moment with the indie developers and stuff, because they can talk to Microsoft and they can get extensions and this, that, and the other, and they'll accept it because there's a few things on there that have come on there now that weren't on there before, and using the clause to its highest level would have said no. So where they were sitting there looking like they were going to lock out a lot of indie stuff, it just looks like if the indie guys talk to them, they can get the bits pushed through. I understand where he's coming from with the fact that he doesn't want people just kind of porting games over. He kind of wants them to make them for the Xbox One. I get that.
No, it makes sense now to for him to do this, so that well, he gets the decent indie games at the same time as the Xbox as the PlayStation 4 does. I think that's the whole idea behind it.
Yeah, but if I was a developer, I would feel slightly screwed over. It's like kind of I've been building this game, and it's like there's 4 of us. Yeah, one of us lives here, one of us lives there. We rarely get to see each other. I spend most of my day slave to my computer trying to program the bloody thing out and sort all the bits out, and then I'm not, I'm not getting quite treated right by Microsoft, and that's. It looked like the shit end of the stick. I'll be frank with you, but when he says that kind of you can talk to us and we'll sort something out, I kind of like the idea that they are approachable. The question now is, are indie devs going to come back and turn around and say Microsoft are approachable? Because we don't know. We know that Sony have done a big turnaround when it comes to indie developers, and
So
I know
much
that
called the innovation.
yeah, most of the PlayStation Plus stuff is indie stuff. So we kind of want those good ones.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Microsoft is now saying they're more approachable, but they actually behave more approachable, and more stuff will come out on the Xbox One. It'll only give them more games, so people have something to play. There's no bad coming from this.
We all want more games because there are games. Because I like Ace Combat, and Ace Combat's not for everyone. Yeah, and it's a fantastic game, and it's a brilliant game. And I think I've got like every version of it, even the PSP versions of it now, because I went back and rebought the Xbox 360 one. And it's not for everyone. And having a broad kind of spectrum of games is good because there are going to be those little niche games. You'll buy the big one, but you'll also want to buy the niche one, and that's good. You don't want to lock anyone out. And the best looking indie game, which I can't wait for, is No Man's Sky, which is like February next year, which is going to ruin Valentine's Day.
Yeah. It's just
sorry, Keith.
I was going to say I'm looking forward to No Man's Sky as well. The more you talk about it, the more sort of enthusiastic I am about it as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
See, they've only really shown parts of it. They only shown the exploration part of it. Excited, proper geek boner. Won't get spooge until they get release date though.
Just don't look at it too much, otherwise Destiny will happen.
I don't think Destiny will happen because they haven't done what they did with Destiny, because Destiny had some pre-expectations. The only expectation is that I get my little starfighter and I get to press the fly button and go from planet to planet, and the planets are randomly generated. It's just the question is, can I just jump in the bloody thing and just hit that button, jump to light speed, and then just hold it down for 4 hours so I wind up somewhere completely new and I get planet Perry.
And so we can play Where's My Perry?
Platypus. Yeah, I've got my platypus. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, shall we move on to the next one, which is a nice story for Xbox, especially here in the UK.
Yep.
Yep. Xbox One's has outsold the PS4 largely thanks to FIFA 15. Just have to say one thing before we talk about FIFA 15. I'm not that impressed with. I've got it on the PS4, and 14 is just so much better. But it's nice to see that the Xbox One is doing so well.
They had pushed for this thing quite hard to try and get FIFA to make it look exclusive, but it was a 155% jump, which is pretty good. But ironically, this is the funny thing. More copies of FIFA sold on the PS4. So it's like kind of, it helped boost the console sales, but still EA will be looking at the sales going, PlayStation's the way to go at the moment, guys, when we're doing our developing, because they're the ones buying it. So
Yeah.
it's good, but they've got another jump. What's the next one? It's Call of Duty's the next one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they'll get another push of Call of Duty, so that should be good.
Call of Duty will do well for the Xbox because a lot of people on Xbox like their Call of Duty. So I think that will do well for the Xbox One.
Yeah, we know somebody who loves Call of Duty, and he only plays it on the Xbox.
Yeah, and my housemate as well. He plays with all his mates on it, and there's some pretty good deals out there at the moment for the Xbox One. I mean, you can get in the UK, that is. I'm not sure about the States, but in the UK you can pick up an Xbox One with a second controller and a play and charge kit for $349 in Argos.
Yeah, they come down to if you just want to buy one outright, it's 329 quid.
Yeah, there's some good deals out there for it at the moment.
Yeah, and the really annoying thing is for the people watching it, listening to us or watching us in the States, that includes sales tax. That's the overall cost. So you've got the sales tax getting popped on at the end.
Wow.
That's going to really fuck them off.
349 quid, and it's not bad. It doesn't surprise me that FIFA 15 pushed it, but yeah, as I said, not overly impressed with FIFA 15. 14 feels better.
I haven't played 14. I bought 15 so I could play with my son, but I don't play it too much because it gets a bit boring.
Well, we're a big FIFA household here. There's 3 blokes that live in this house. We're all very, very competitive with each other, and we've got. I mean, you look at our shelf, and there's just like 8 bloody versions of FIFA up there, from PS3 to PS4. We had 14 on the PS4, and I quite like it. 15 just doesn't feel the same. It's a bit more. It's not as intuitive, and it feels a bit more finicky. You have to do a lot more to achieve the same thing, and to me that almost takes some of the fun out of it. But that's my quick review of FIFA 15.
You're not going to do a video then, Keith?
Well,
it's the same shit. It's a bit finicky. Yeah, done.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I know a lot about FIFA. It's the other 2 boys in the house that know far more than I do. I just, from my limited sort of exposure to it, I prefer 14.
Okay, I had 14. I had 14, but FIFA is one game that makes me rage more than any other game. If you want to see me break a controller, play me at fucking FIFA, and you'll watch me go, Hartlepool should not beat Liverpool! And then that's me.
Yeah.
£50.
I get the same when I do. You get those little trial things, the skill games, I think they're called. Sometimes they're just so ridiculous. You have to get it perfect in order to pass it, and it's just like, fuck off. I'm doing this for fun, not for fucking for anything else.
And while we're on the good news, I think we should just go to the next story. Unlike Japan, Xbox One has had a bloody good launch in China. It's sold 100,000 units. It's the only console that's available there that's worldwide console. China has a few of its own consoles, but it's awesome that they've sold 100,000. They beat Sony to it, and it's sold really well in China, which is good news. It doesn't surprise me because it's the first console that's been allowed there. The communist capitalist government finally allowed them to be sold. Communist capitalist, bloody bollocks. I'm not getting too political today, but it's good news. I'm happy. That's good competition for Sony.
Yeah, so Sony haven't released it yet, so they're still jumping through all the legal hoops and stuff.
Yeah, but we'll come to that.
Yeah, we'll come to that when we get to the Sony stuff.
However, I don't know. They don't say how many they've shipped to China.
This is 100,000 sold.
It says 100,000 sold.
This is the great thing. We can't tell with bloody Microsoft.
Is it through to consumers?
Oh, please tell me.
Yeah, no, this is sold. This is 100,000 sold. Because I saw this story at sort of near the beginning of the week and sent it over to Gareth to say, we should cover this. It is actual units sold according to the article I read.
the other thing to note is they haven't had a proper games console since 2000.
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine they probably what was 2000? It was PlayStation 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So PlayStation 2. I think they may have just missed out on the original Xbox there, but.
Yeah, I think they did.
Could you imagine it been on the PlayStation 2 for ages? It's like kind of when are we getting a new console? 14 years later, a wife and kids and a job. And it's like, oh my god, I could buy one. So to just rush out and buy one. So I imagine there's a bit more excitement there. Plus, you know, they do have the world's biggest population at the moment. So actually, that's quite. Actually, given the size of the population, that's fucking low.
It is.
Yeah, but bearing in mind that a good proportion of the population won't even have access to
Electricity.
internet and well, they do have access. So a lot of people have access to electricity, but bearing in mind a good deal of the population won't have access to this in China. I mean, you know,
Yeah, they've got the
these sales are predominantly in Shanghai and Beijing.
Now, if you think about that, the cost of the console is quite high over in China, or is it comparable to the UK? It might be comparable.
I think it was comparable to the UK, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, and people who can afford that, they've got fairly decent jobs, really, and you know, so when the PlayStation 4 comes out, I would expect the PlayStation 4 to do the same amount.
That would be interesting, because I think part of the reason why the Xbox has done so well is it's not Japanese, and I actually think in China, the Japanese factor might have a thing on the sales of the PS4. Could be wrong, but a lot of Chinese are very anti-Japanese and vice versa.
Yes,
very much.
But then again, if you get what's his face, Andrew, whatever he's guy in charge of Sony, turn up along with Mark Cerny, they look very, very Japanese, don't they? A Welsh fellow and an American selling your games console.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that is a good point, because that is very, very good, because I forgot that there's that kind of love-hate like we have with the French.
Although they just really hate them. I don't even think there's a love-hate, really. The Chinese are quite anti-Japanese. Memories die slowly in China.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen the memorial in Nanjing about what's happened over there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to order myself a German car in a couple of weeks' time. I'm not that bothered.
It's a bit different.
Yeah. No, it's the same war. Anyway, right, so what's...
Right, so now let's move on to the PlayStation part of the news. So let's do the PlayStation news, and then PlayStation news is that Sony is having a birthday.
I can't get over this. I can't believe it. I'm old.
It makes me feel really old. It makes me feel. I can remember going over my friend Darren's house when another kid called Daniel brought over his PlayStation, and it was the first time I saw it. And we were playing what was Toshinden, and it was just like kind of this is all right. And I was thinking that it'll never take off. It'll be Nintendo and Sega all the way. Sega will never fail, and neither will Nintendo do stupid things. And that was proved wrong.
The first time I ever played a PlayStation was over at my mate Darren's house. So, yeah, that's funny.
That's funny. It wasn't the guy called Daniel who owned the PlayStation, was it? Because it may have been the same Daniel.
He had. Oh god, no! It was over at Darren's house. I think he had. It was a racing game because it was on CD and it had video on it, and that was just like, after playing Nintendo for so long, seeing video in a games console was just like something else. And I remember seeing this PlayStation for the first time, but I can't believe that the controller for a PlayStation hasn't really hugely changed in 20 years. It's 20 years. Oh, it's mind blowing. Mind blowing.
Yeah, it is absolutely mind blowing. It's
quite a long time ago.
Makes me feel old.
God, is it that long ago that we were working in an electronics boutique when the first PlayStation was still the current console? We were there when the PS2 launched.
I remember we did the fake out with the cardboard.
Yeah, you wound me up, you bastards.
We were like, Keith, we got a PlayStation 2 in, but we're not allowed to touch it. And there was a cardboard cut out of PlayStation 2. That was dodgy Dave's idea. Man, that guy was dodgy.
Okay.
Dodgy Dave. I still talk to him now and again.
Yeah, no, I catch him every so often. Okay, shall we move on to our next piece of news, which I think...
So,
this is one that affects us all, guys. This is important because it does affect us all.
yeah, so the PS Plus version of the Drive Club has been delayed. Now, there's been some problems with the servers for the Drive Club.
It's not an EA game, is it?
I don't know who made this, but we're waiting eagerly as PlayStation Plus subscribers. We're waiting eagerly to play this very average Drive Club game.
Hey, we can't call it average until we've played it. Yeah.
Apparently, according to reviews, but
yeah, but that's because it's missing all the server aspects of it. Technically.
So basically, at the moment,
can I just say one thing, Nige? I'm with Gareth on this because critics always have an agenda. I hate critics. I think they're all bastards. And you shouldn't read the review till you play it yourself. Don't make your mind up.
Yeah.
The critics are probably right, but don't.
I would say Metacritic because I think that's where you get normal people like us and the.
Oh, dude, have you seen the crazy shit that people put on Metacritic?
Nah. Well, you know, otherwise you spend a lot of money on a game, find out it's shit, and then get really angry at it and then fucking take it back, rather than save yourself the trouble. But in this case, what's happening is the server is always full, and it's apparently an online game. So people are trying to connect, but they can't. The only time they get to connect is when somebody drops out, and then that one person replaces them.
Hang on a second. Hold on a second. What, hang on a second. You're saying that Drive Club is like a nightclub?
Yeah.
So they did get it right. No, they told us. They warned us beforehand. They got it right. Oh my god.
And you've already broken the first rule
of Drive Club.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You continue. But there was an opportunity for a joke there that couldn't be wasted.
Yeah. You're only allowed in if you're wearing shoes as well.
Yeah, that's it. We've got the PlayStation Eye. Look, scans down. It's like, he's wearing trainers. He's not allowed in.
And do you know also, if you're a group of guys that don't let you in, you have to have at least 3 or 4 girls with you for them to let you in as well.
God, I remember that.
That was the first rule of club.
That's just for nightclubs.
Yeah.
No, I remember being in that situation. It was weird because a couple of times I've been in that situation. I was the first one. I got through the door, and then it was like, no, you got with a group of guys. You can't go through. It's like, you just let me fucking through.
Yeah.
But hey.
Stupid. Right, so we were talking about this earlier, so we should start on it again. About the PS4 heading to China.
Yeah, the PS4 in China, so...
PS4 is going to be heading to China, but they are still working out the details. So, Sony still is working on the paperwork to be able to take their console and release it to the masses in China. Unfortunately, it's still not there. And we won't be able to comment on how well it does against the PS4 and Xbox, you know, battle. We won't know what that's like. But I think you might be right, Keith. I think you might be right. It might not do as well because it's a Japanese company.
I've just got a feeling about it trying to get through the what's they call it the free trade zone, or they've got a...
Yeah, and I think
China's
that might
free
be held
trade
up
zone.
again because it's Sony.
But you know what? I've got. This sounds a really weird thing to say, is that bribery is rife in China when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
So do you think Microsoft paid for an exclusive?
Delay their paperwork.
They're just we want exclusive. What are we going to get? Let's get China as an exclusive.
Yes.
What other country?
We can't get games as an exclusive. We'll get an entire.
I think it's more likely that the other console is Japanese. I honestly think that it's probably because it's Sony and China will make up more of an issue for that. Whereas Xbox is just Microsoft, so they let it straight through.
Yeah.
But it could be, there could be. But whatever it is, it's all good for Microsoft at the moment. So
It is good for Microsoft at the moment, which may propel them to start doing some cleverer things, which we all are dying for. Like, hey, start up a few more games development studios, or buy some.
well, I want them to, I want them to start doing well. I want competition for Sony. I want Sony to start feeling the pinch a bit. Because at the moment, where's 2.0 for the PS4? I'm getting fed off waiting for that.
Yeah, that's.
I want all those features on that.
Yeah,
Where
no,
is
that's a bloody good point. Because next time we play Destiny together, I can jump in and show you how to shoot bad guys. The guy who told me to stop shooting because I was killing all the bad guys. It's like,
No, you kept going away. You stand in front of us and start
kill
shooting.
them all.
You're shooting side by side. You get in front of us. You're like the kid that has to get there first.
Stop. I had a Titan class. The idea of a Titan class is that they're the ones that stand at the front and everyone shoots over the top of them so they can soak up the damage.
I don't know about
I'm
you.
going to shoot first. I'm going to shoot first. Get out of the way, lads. I'm here first. I'm going to shoot them. Ah! That's you, that is.
I just started shooting Gareth.
I'm gonna have to just get some of the video clips from when we played together, and it's like you get to the end of the round, and it's like Gareth has killed 147. Nigel killed 100. Keith has killed 5. Keith gets epic loot. What the fuck?
I know. I don't know what's up. But
Yeah.
anyway, we sort of digressed to Destiny, and we said we'd never talk about Destiny.
So yeah, no, that was. No, I'm talking about Keith. That's what I'm
So-
talking.
so
The
there
subject of Destiny there.
Further Destiny rants.
Right.
Anyway,
I
think it's time we wrap this up. So time to go to Shameless Plug Town.
Yeah.
Keith, why don't you plug the podcast?
We have podcasts, people. We have 2 a week. We have this podcast, which is a audio version of our YouTube video, which is out on a Monday. And then we have our Geeky Corner, which is full of like pop culture, movie stuff. We call it Geeky Corner, but it's becoming more sort of generalised because we talked about Ray Donovan this week. And we're going to be talking about the Blacklist next week because that's fucking awesome.
The Blacklist.
Yeah, you put me onto that, and that is amazing. I'm just going to say this now. If you're going to do a procedural, that's how you do a procedural show. That's exactly what I meant. I love the Blacklist. It's awesome.
Oh, the Blacklist.
Good.
I thought
Yes,
you said
the Blacklist.
Blacklist is in hair straighteners. I was thinking, what the
No,
hell?
Blacklist. So we're going to and that's out on a Thursday. So we have 2 podcasts a week. You can find us on Stitcher because we love Stitcher, iTunes, and all good podcast directories. Thank you,
Okay.
Nigel.
Go on,
Tag the Twitter.
As you can see down here at Gaming Face Punch, every day I do that wrong. Every day.
Still
Right.
getting it wrong.
At Gaming Face Punch. At Gaming Punch. Come and follow us.
Look,
We'll follow you
Gaming
back.
Face
And then
Punch.
you can send us. Yeah, there, you've got it too. And then you can send us a tweet and
Yeah. So
suggest
this week-
stuff.
Yeah, we've had some nice guys join us and follow us, and fellow YouTubers contact us, which is been cool.
And Nige, we're over 200. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can open the door a crack now.
Yeah,
It-
you're allowed that again for a couple of weeks.
I've opened it a bit. I still have light. Okay.
And
Gareth,
yes.
so other social media.
Yeah, we have other social media. Don't worry about it; it's not important. My favourite's Twitter, our podcast. We have a YouTube channel. We have YouTube videos and stuff. Come watch our videos, and if you like them, oh, well done. If you don't like them, oh, sorry, I wasted your time.
Come and have a look. You might find something you like.
Yes, you might find something you like. You might find something interesting. We've put this up. We don't put up a Geeky Corner video one. I'm gonna have to twist Keith's arm to try and do that one day. So we've just got one to show people from YouTube to maybe encourage them to come on and listen to us on our podcast. We've got that. We've got a few reviews, got playthroughs and stuff like that. We also have a Facebook and a Google Plus page. And believe it or not, I prefer the Google Plus page because Facebook is pony.
Okay. So that was our shameless plugging then.
Yeah, that was actually plug-in.
And we have a website.
Oh yeah, we've got a website too. We have bits of Spider-Man stuck all over it. We've got Spider-Man trapped in a glass on our website. So it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from Nigel.
Hello. And it's goodbye from that man, Keith.
Bye.
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 Bye.